Hi, I'm Bridget Davis. I'm the director of Shelby County CASA. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and we are a volunteer-based guardian ad litem program for Shelby County's abused and neglected children. I met Scott Skinner probably about 6 years ago. He volunteered in my office. He started off doing some filing, and filing wasn't really Scott's thing, but he was at that time not comfortable enough to let me know that. He eventually did and said he'd like to do some data entry. So then he started helping me with one of my grants that I get from the Ohio Attorney General's office. With bringing Scott in, it helped him get out in the community. It helped him interact, talking with me, having him come in, and like I said, he created Microsoft Excel sheets for me to help my job be easier. So having Scott come in there and do that was extremely helpful. I encourage, so many people to look into that. If you need help and you just tap into the Action Club or get connected with Jessica Giozzi on how you can get one of the individuals with disabilities involved in your organization. I mean, there's so many things that they can do. They don't need to be treated any different.
Hi, my name is Michelle Everett, and I first met Scott when I was working at SNH as the activity coordinator. And Scott, I jokingly called him my secretary or my personal assistant. He helped with a lot of the Zoom activities that we did during COVID when we couldn't connect in any way except virtually. He was always the guy that was like wanting to stay in touch with everyone and making sure everyone had an invite. He was just really great about trying to make sure everyone was included. I don't work, I'm not a paid support for Scott anymore, but we just really developed a friendship when I was working with him. And he still goes out of his way to make sure I know when events are happening on Zoom, and he sends me a personal invitation, and I've just really come to enjoy the friendship. We found we have a lot of things in common. We both obsessively enjoy Survivor. And so we've been messaging back and forth the last few days because the finale's coming up tonight. So even when we're thinking about coming tonight, we're looking at the time, like, okay, we're good. We could be home. Well, I think that when you don't give people a chance because maybe it takes him a couple seconds longer to say what he wants to say, or maybe he's a little more easily intimidated and he has to get a little bit more comfortable before he can speak to you. But when you do get to know him, he's got a great sense of humor. A lot of times we see the world a lot more similar than what I would have thought. In fact, even when I was working with him, I think I gained more than he did.
I'm Chris Rodriguez. I'm a DSP, and I've been working with Scott. I started working with Scott this spring, though I've known Scott for a few years. Scott approached me at Walking Club and asked me if I would be his provider. And I told him I'd be honored. Scott's a very organized person. On most of our meetings, we have a schedule. We go over our schedule for the week or for the month, and it changes weekly. So he keeps me on point like that, on things like that. First of all, I've gotten a lot from Scott because Scott is involved with the DD community. Every day we get more involved with them. I get to see more friends. My life's enriched because I get to see a lot of my friends as well. Most of the times when Scott asks me for help, he's usually explains how it would help his parents out. He always tells me that if you could pick me up or drop me off, my parents could do the other. That would help them out a lot. And a lot of times too, I noticed that he doesn't want to have to rely on his parents. He feels like anytime I can help him or other people help him, that it makes him feel good. And I know that because it makes me feel good to be able to be there for him. We're going to a Browns game. Scott, that's one thing he wants to do, and we will go. Our plan is to go next fall, and I really hope to make that happen.
If Scott was here, I'd have to jokingly start with Go Cowboys, and he would probably appreciate that, but I just want Scott to know how much I appreciate him in the CASA office, and hopefully we can get together soon when the world starts opening up, and I really hope to see him at the next CASA Day in Ohio, which hopefully will be in April, and we can see him and all of his friends.
If Scott was here right now and I had a chance to say anything to him, I would just say, I appreciate that he doesn't give up. When I, get busy or I kind of lose track, he stays in touch with me, and I really appreciate that. I think we all need, somebody just to check in and make sure we're okay. And I would encourage him to keep doing that with his friends too. Keep, checking in, keep pushing a little bit, even when it feels like, they're busy, or because we all need friends.
I would definitely tell Scott, thank you for keeping me close to not just his friends, but my friends too. because he's very much involved in activities, and he makes he actually creates activities for me to do for him and with him. So I look forward to my outings with Scott.